Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever in the world that you are today. We had such a great international crowd last week, and hopefully we will today as well. I'm really excited about our guests today, and I hope, as always, you are picking up some great tips and some great tricks. I know that I always do, truly, 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 and things that I always want to try, and things that we don't always think of. So I'm very excited to have my two guests with me today, both regulars of our entertaining and ICE TVs, etc. Always step up to the plate when invited. So a sincere thank you, as always, to my guests. But my first guest is Breanne. Breanne is the Canadian sales manager for Yogi tea. She's worked in a variety of sales roles for purpose-driven companies and is passionate about the role that business plays in creating positive change for people and the planet. Yogi creates flavor-forward teas that support well-being. Their functional teas are designed to inspire and enhance everyday life and aim to help bring a moment of mindfulness to your day. Hello, Breanne. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm really good. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you too. That music on the intro got me vibing a little bit. It was, setting the stage.
And you are clearly in festive mode. I see your jumper is nice and festive.
Yes, I am. I think on the ICE TV segment last time, I was trying to match my shirt to the color of the carton of our tea. And this time around, I went with we're like, let's embrace the holidays. Let's just lean into it. So that's what I got on today.
I am fully on board. I am putting up my tree this weekend. My house is being fully decorated. I am ready for the holidays.
There's something about when it just kind of like clicks and you're ready to embrace it. And I've got a lot of snow out in my backyard right now. So I've been in holiday mode for quite a while. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy, but you know what? That's okay. That's all part of it. It makes you embrace the season a little bit more.
And you know what? It is the end of November. So, it shouldn't be the temperature that it is at the moment. So there you go.
Exactly.
What are you making for us, lovely Breanne?
Today we're going to make a sweet chai nut cake. So we're going to make this is a great loaf. You can make it, it could be like a great Christmas morning type of a loaf that you're going to serve any kind of holiday party you're having. We're going to make it in a loaf today, but I was actually thinking it could be great as like little bite-size appetizers or like one bite kind of
nice.
kind of entertaining that you're doing this season. We're gonna dig into it. This uses our chai turmeric Revitalize tea. So this is one of our new launches. I love this tea so much. It's a sweet and spicy chai, so it's got all those flavors that you love of a chai with all the benefits of turmeric. So you're getting those antioxidants, you're getting just that overall, turmeric has been used for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine. And I think by now people are pretty familiar with the benefits of turmeric, but we really love it. Gives it a really nice, beautiful orange color when you're brewing it, and really a great balance of flavors. So that's what we're going to be using in our cake. So let's get started. So first, as always, the recipes that I'm going to be making today are vegan. If you need to adjust that, you can do that as well. But we're going to start by making a vegan egg. So I've got 2 teaspoons of ground flax in here, and I'm going to mix that with 6 tablespoons of water.
Sorry, did you say you're making a vegan egg?
A vegan egg, yes. So this this mixture that I've got here with the flax and the egg, we're just going to let it sit there for about 10 minutes. It's going to get that gelatinous texture of an egg by just giving it a little bit of time.
Never heard of that before. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great way to adapt even some of your other recipes that you might not be vegan if you are trying to accommodate allergies or preferences or anything like that. So we'll let that sit for a couple minutes. Next stage, we're going to get 2 tea bags. So like I said, this is 2 of our chai turmeric Revitalize.
Yep.
And we're going to let that sit over here.
Okay.
With 200 mils of water. So I've got some water boiled, and we'll just pour that over top. We're going to let it steep for 7 minutes. I think you and I have talked about this before, but we always, it is important to let tea, steep for the proper amount of time. You don't want it going too long. You don't want it going too little. And then you're going to have that desired flavor that, the R&D team puts so much hard work into creating.
And you're making a concentrate right now, yes?
Yes, we are. So this is a very potent concentrate. So it's going to bring out that cinnamon, the clove, the turmeric, all of the flavors. Essentially, instead of adding these spices into your cake separately, we're using a tea bag to do that. And then giving it, obviously, the liquid that it needs.
Right.
So as I'm smelling it, there's like beautiful ginger. Just stay like this all day. But anyways, we'll let that steep for 7 minutes.
Okay.
And then I've got one ready to go. So what we're going to do is this is that concentrate that we just made. I'm going to mix that into my bowl with the tea. I'm going to pour in that flax egg that we had sitting there. So you can see it's a bit of like a gelatinous. It kind of gets that, like the yolk of the egg is sort of the way the flax all sticks together. And then we're also going to put in 100. Another thing about this recipe, which I really like, is that we've we've weighed all the ingredients. So if you have a kitchen scale at home, I just find it so much easier. Sometimes you don't need 100 measuring cups and things like that. So if you have a kitchen scale, really easy to do that. And here we're going to put in 100 grams of liquid coconut oil. You could just use regular coconut oil and warm it up. But today we've got the liquid. So we're going to mix that all together in there for our wet ingredients. Next, we are going to turn our oven to 350. And speaking of tips and tricks, I actually saw this the other day and I wanted to try it, and it turns out it worked. So, sometimes when you line a baking dish with parchment paper, it's just so hard to actually get it to stay in. It's popping out. So I saw a trick where you crumple it up in a little ball, wet it, and put it in. And maybe everyone has already known about this, but it was like a mind-blowing discovery for me.
Okay, so I know about the crumpling. This is the first time I'm hearing about wetting it.
Yeah, and then it just sticks in and it molds to the inside of your pan so much easier. And it doesn't really impact. So easy peasy. So we'll have that there.
Okay, good.
Next, so we've got all of our wet ingredients here, and then we're going to add in our sugar. I've got some raw cane sugar here, about 80 grams of that, and we'll just give it all a good mix. Next, we're going to put in our dry ingredients. So I've got 250 grams of flour. This is just all-purpose flour.
Yeah.
You could use any kind of all-purpose substitute if you wanted to make that gluten-free, but here we're just using all-purpose. I'm also going to put in 50 grams of cornflour. And so there's not a whole lot of that compared. We're going to give that a good mix. And we are going to throw in a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
So I'll just put that in there too. Stir it all around. You're going to get a nice smooth batter once this is all mixed up.
Nice.
And it's fairly moist from that tea that we use to get all the beautiful spices in there. At the same time, it is a nut cake, so we need to put in some nuts. So as the recipe says. So these are some walnuts that we're going to put in. I kind of took the easy route and just bought some chopped ones and ran my knife over them a little bit quicker, or a little bit to make the job a little bit quicker. So we'll put that in there. And then
I assume you can put in any kind of nuts that you want, right? So
any kind of nut would work. Yeah. I think with this one, you know, walnuts are giving it that kind of you could put in anything. You could put in anything that there is a certain sort of density, I think, to the walnut, but you could do anything. We're also going to put in almonds. So these are slivered almonds that I've just chopped up, and we're going to put those in as well. So if you have a preference on something you would rather use, I think pecans could work really nicely in there too.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to stir that to get a really batter consistency.
Yeah, nice and thick.
We'll put that in there, and it's going to go into the oven for about 40-45 minutes. I was making this yesterday, and I was on a phone call when it got off, when the buzzer rang at 40 minutes, and it had an extra 5, and it was just fine. So it's very forgiving from that standpoint. But we'll just put that in, and then you can plop it in the oven. And there we go. And when you pull it out, through the magic of a live stream,
gorgeous.
This beautiful cake.
Very nice.
It's a dense loaf too, right? So it's going to be very like nutrient dense. You're actually going to be getting a good, it's not a lot of filler in it. You're getting those nuts, you're getting those antioxidants. And of course, to make it just a little bit more festive, we like to put it with a little topping on top. So I've got some vegan cream cheese that I'm going to put on this one. Just
delish.
Scoop it into a bowl. We're going to use a bigger bowl. And then mix that with some icing sugar and a little bit of lemon juice for that. Love
a cheese frosting topping.
Yeah, and then you can just mix that up and spread it over the top, and it's really going to give it a beautiful little extra je ne sais quoi, you know, that extra something for whether it's for your guests or for people coming to your home or just your family, but very easy to make and very easy to incorporate tea into your day.
I love it. And I love making loaf cakes. I totally agree with you. They're super simple to make, super fast to make. And I'll quite often, I have a bad habit of buying bananas and leaving it on the counter for way too long. So there's an awful lot of banana loaves that are made in my house. And I tend to like it more bready than cakey. So I tend to make it like dense, like you've just made your cake. But it's perfect to have, and just, I find, you know, your version there with the tea, the holiday flavors, and have it for breakfast. Like slice it and warm it up, a little bit of butter on top, and, you know, good cup of tea, and it doesn't take much to make me happy.
No, ready to start your day. There you go.
Very, very nice. Now, you said at the beginning that, I mean, you've done it as a loaf, but you could even see making it as individuals. How would you do that?
Yeah, I feel like, I have little kids, so sometimes I'm always thinking about how attention spans when they're eating things. So I always find that mini muffins, like the little ones, are always a better they're a better bet around my household.
Yes.
So I think this would be perfect like that, because it would just sort of be bite-sized, especially because it is a denser cake. You're not going to want to have too much of it. So like one little bite or two little bites, and then you can get going. So I feel like putting those in a mini muffin tin and making it the exact same way, adjusting the baking time a little bit, maybe watching it. But I think that would be another good way to have it. And you could even, you could decorate them kind of cute and festive. And I
love it. I love that. I love that idea. I love it. I love it. I would, the individuals, as you say, for appetizers, or to have, around the house for your kids. You could even make like a syrup of some sort and like poke some holes and, soak it. Possibilities are endless.
Now you've got my mind going. Now I'm like, how could we do this?
Well, you'll have to let me know how it worked for you. So I have to share with everybody, Breanne put a lovely, lovely post on LinkedIn that I read yesterday about finding joy. And I love that. And it made me think, because you posted a picture, I think, of your son with you on the post. And I don't want to speak for you. So tell everybody, I'm going to steal a couple of minutes and tell everybody what you were talking about, because I think it's a really important message any time of the year, but especially now.
Yeah, I feel like I really have embraced this concept in my life around seeking joy. And I think some people might, roll their eyes around that. But for me, it's a very it's a very real thing. It's not just some hippy dippy concept or some woo woo thing. It's about looking for the joy in the little things of life. I mean, really, when you look at it, every day our lives are filled up with a lot of the same things that we do. And there are some things that you might not enjoy. And that's just part of life. And that's just part of what comes with life. And sometimes there's seasons of life that are just harder than others, and they're just challenging. And so whether things are up or down, or how you're feeling, I've really embraced this concept of finding the joy. So I was just saying, I have so much snow out my backyard. I do not like winter. It is not my favorite thing. I love a warm beach and sunshine. Like, that is where I thrive. However, I could sit here and be miserable for 4 to 5 months of the year because it's cold and I have to shovel and I have to do all these things. Or I could go out and have a good attitude about it and find the things that, and I do feel like it's different than, say, toxic positivity a little bit, where sometimes you're always trying to find something good. Maybe it's not all good. It can also it can suck. That's okay. It can be tough. But there's something that you get that little glimmer out of it, and you do find that moment of joy, and you can sort of reframe it in your mind. So for me, that was, okay. Is it sometimes more work to get the kids all suited up in their gear to go out? Yes. But with that laughter as they're going down the toboggan hill is like everything. Or as you're shoveling the snow, thinking about how strong you're getting from doing this. Or, there's a million examples. And I was saying on LinkedIn, I feel like it's a little bit of a trivial example, but I feel like it can really weave your way into sort of the fabric of how you see life and your outlook and your perspective. And we all know that, your perspective really is everything. So that was a little bit
I love it.
Into my, my joy seeking.
I love it. And I think it's a really good reminder, as I said, any time of the year, but especially now, because, I've said this before, I love the holidays, but I think we need to remember as well that it's not always an easy time for some people. There's for all kinds of reasons. And trying to find the little things that bring you joy it's a big message. It's a good one though. Thank you, lovely Breanne. It's always good to see you.
Well, take care, and we will chat with you soon.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever it is that you celebrate. Enjoy. And thank you.
Happy holidays to you too. Thanks so much.
Bye. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye. All right. So I'm going to go straight on to my next guest, another regular and favorite, Will Dixon, who is the tea buyer at Taylor's of Harrogate, the home of Yorkshire tea. The UK's #1 brand, as far as I know. He's been with the company since 2012, where he started as a trainee tea buyer. Will has traveled to many countries to visit tea estates, including China, Ethiopia, India, Indonesia, Kenya, Malawi, Rwanda, Sri Lanka, Tanzania, and Uganda. Hello, Will. How are you?
Hi, Shabnam. Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Yes, as always. Nice to see you too.
Are you gearing up for the holidays? I hear you had snow in the UK.
We had snow on Saturday, which is quite unusual for us to get snow in November. It was my dad's birthday, so he was telling me there's not been many years it snowed on his birthday, but 1 or 2, but not very often. So yeah, we had a couple of inches, but then bizarrely it was 14 degrees later that day, so it all melted and went away. So we got to play in it. We built a snowman. We went sledging, and then by evening it pretty much all gone. So there's no mess and no ice the following day. So
that's my kind of snow, just enough to enjoy it, and then off it goes.
Yeah, so that was
love
fun.
it.
But yes, that's making us feel festive, and a couple more weeks of work, and then breaking up early for Christmas this year. So
nice.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Good. Well, sounds like there's plenty of joy in your life, Mr. Dixon. All right. Well, tell us what you're making for us today.
Okay. Well, what I thought I'd do is, but obviously we all drink tea. You have a lot of tea, and occasionally there's some tea left at the end. And I was thinking, well, what can you do with that tea? There's no point wasting it, throwing it away. If there's not enough to make, say, iced tea or something else, but what can you do with that tea? So the 2 recipes I'm going to do today are basically a couple of little ways you could use up some extra tea.
Love that. So
say we've been having a drink this afternoon of the Taylor's Harrogate organic peppermint. We've got a little bit left in the pot.
Okay.
So I'm going to make some peppermint jelly snowballs today, so keeping it relatively festive.
Snowballs. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to use the ice cube tray, so I don't need a lot of tea. So it takes about what did it take? About 150 mils to fill the ice cube tray.
Yeah.
So the tea's cooled down, or it's still hot. I'm going to put it in a pan in the oven, on the hob essentially, very low heat. But I can't demonstrate that very well, so I'm just going to pour it in a jug, but pretend this is a pan on the hob.
Okay.
So about 150 ml of your peppermint tea.
Okay.
Then about 3 teaspoons of sugar.
Okay.
Cubes in this case. So we're going to heat it gently, stir until it dissolves, basically.
Okay.
Let the sugar dissolve. And then I'm going to add some gelatin. We obviously need to make a jelly. We need some gelatin to make it set.
Okay. Yep.
So gelatin, normally soak it in cold water for 5 minutes, then put it in the pan, keep stirring. So I've got about 3 sheets of gelatin. You need quite a bit to get the jelly quite firm, so you can then do more to it. Okay. So about three sheets of gelatin. Stir. Okay. Don't let the tea boil. Stir until it's dissolved, and then take it off the heat.
Okay.
So then, pretty straightforward. Then we're going to make our jelly ice cubes. So we're just going to top up the tray. 150 ml should make about 10 to 20 different ice cubes.
Okay.
I can't tilt that to show you how it's going to go.
No, I get it. Okay, so I do tea ice cubes all the time, but I've never done a jelly one. So okay, love this.
Yep. So then in the fridge at least 2 hours. I left mine overnight just to make sure they were nice and firm. So I've got them there. Obviously, these are the ones I've been using. So there's not many left there. You can see nice and firm, pretty stuck. So yeah, nice and solid. Scoop those out. So again, how closely you can see.
Perfect. Yeah.
Work out where the camera is. You can see there, bit of a wobble, but pretty firm as well.
Very firm.
So then we're going to coat them in chocolate. So a little bit of cooking chocolate. I've used dark on this occasion because peppermint and dark chocolate work well together.
Okay.
Just put in a little bowl above boiling water, above hot water, water that's been boiled. So you get the chocolate melted. It's hard to display. I'm going to put a little bit of a smear on some what we call here greaseproof paper, but baking parchment. Is that what you refer to it as? Yeah. Greaseproof paper, because we don't want the jelly to stick. So I've got a little base to sort of go underneath. Then we're going to put the jelly on top of that.
Okay.
This is where I then have to, it might not be very well demonstrated, but scoop out the chocolate and put it all over the top.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of
you put some underneath, sort of like a glue.
Yeah, to make a base basically. So yeah, so it's firm on the chocolate all the way around is what we're aiming for. And then smear it with chocolate. So you can see there quite a big camera, but quite a big lump.
Yeah.
So and then to make it a bit Christmassy, a bit more festive, a bit more flavor, we've got some desiccated coconuts. And we're just going to cover it in that.
Oh my God, I love this.
And then obviously stick it in the fridge, let the chocolate set. And then a bit later, I've just got 3 to display, but there you go. 3 peppermint
that looks
jelly
delicious.
snowballs. So just a simple way to use up some leftover tea. You've got very few ingredients. What have we got? Tea, gelatin, chocolate, coconut. But again, you can use any tea you want to be used, but peppermint made sense to me. Quite good combination. Chocolate, peppermint, and coconut.
100%. I mean, one of my favorite chocolates is an After 8 mint. Right?
So similar. So then you've had your dinner guests around at the end of the meal. Instead of an After 8, you've got your homemade chocolate jelly snowballs.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm totally replicating that one. I tell you guys all the time that I learn something new every single time. So if you guys don't watching the shows, at least for me, I've never seen this recipe before. I love this.
That's good. That makes me very happy. That gives me some joy because it's not easy. It's not easy thinking of something that you can do with tea every time.
I know.
You can also demonstrate on your show as well. So
I mean, all of my guests, seriously, all of you guys, you really step up every single time. So thank you. Okay, I'm really excited about that one. I'm totally replicating that one. Okay.
So we've gone for after dinner, so now we're going to go to the opposite end of the day now. So breakfast. You might have some guests staying for breakfast, or you might have a brunch, whatever it may be. So again, we've got some leftover tea. We've been drinking tea in the afternoon. This time we've got some green tea with jasmine.
Okay.
So there's a little bit left.
Okay.
So what can we do that? So I've got about a cupful left. This occasion, 330 ml I need for this recipe. So I'm going to make some green jasmine overnight oats. So it's something I make regularly throughout the week. Normally I'll add either a milk, an oat milk, or water to it. So I thought, well, we'll just add some tea and see how it goes.
Yep.
So we've got some oats. So again, see if we can demonstrate. Just some porridge oats. So I've pre-weighed these. So I'm just going to put them in the container I can put in the fridge. So Tupperware or at home, I make it in the bowl. I'm going to eat my breakfast in anyway. So I've got even less washing up to do in the morning. Yeah. So in go the oats. Again, some sultanas, so just some natural sweetness coming through there. Add as many as you'd like. And again, the people that sell almonds and walnuts are going to be happy today because we've got some healthy in this recipe. So nice. So almonds, flaked almonds on this occasion. Some walnuts, again, slightly chopped.
Okay.
And then, last of all, I've got a bit of a mix here. So it's a bit of all sorts. I've got some chia seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, flaxseed in there. So you're sort of getting all those things that are good for you, but you might not always get a chance to eat. So if you want anything, you can add fruit, nuts, seeds. It's all pretty good for you. So adding it to a pretty healthy breakfast all in all here. Normally I'd add maybe some blueberries or some raspberries as well. But again, when you're using teas, it's quite delicate. So I didn't want to put any flavors in that were too overpowering. So hence I've not put them in on this occasion. But obviously you can pair whichever tea you've got, whichever tea you like, with whatever flavor, nuts, berries, fruits would work well with it as well.
Okay.
So then I've got my 330 ml of tea. I'm just going to basically soak it in. And again, it's up to you how solid or runny you like your oats.
Yeah.
Put it in. Again, I might not be able to do this too well on camera. Just give it a mix.
Yeah.
Obviously, mix it all together. Put on the lid. Stick it in the fridge and forget about it till tomorrow morning. So the next morning, you've got some overnight oats with all the goodness of the fruits, the seeds, and then some tea to boot as well. So that's the green jasmine overnight oats. I
love it. Overnight oats, I think, is one of the easiest ways to do a nice, lucky you, is to meal prep your breakfasts. Do you know what I mean? Like you can do them in individual containers and grab and go.
Yeah.
Super, super great. And go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say because a lot of people put milk in their oats as well. You can do it with black tea. So I've made it with our very own Yorkshire tea and milk as well, because the milk and the black tea work together well as well.
So of course, you use the green jasmine. That's why you didn't use the milk. Yeah, no, absolutely. So I've done overnight oats with chai, and I've done it with Earl Grey. So I've never done it with a green jasmine. I'll definitely give that one a go. That's great. Penelope, watching here, on the chocolate, made a comment with I guess her question is a tropical brew. So yeah, I mean, you use the mint, the peppermint, but you could use anything, couldn't you?
Any flavor you want, yeah. And obviously, I use dark chocolate, but any flavor you've got, whichever flavors you like, you can make any liquid into a jelly with enough gelatin. So yeah, and then obviously pair your chocolate with it, white, dark, milk chocolate, and then whatever topping. Again, you can start adding the seeds or the berries or little chopped raspberry flakes, dried fruit. Anything can go on top as well.
All right.
You can put it inside the jelly if you want. You could put something inside the jelly of fruit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Anything. So yeah, you get another layer of flavor. Okay,
I'm totally replicating that one, and I will give you full credit for it, Mr. Dixon. Oh, Penelope says, dare I say eggnog? Go for it, Penelope. Absolutely, why not? See, it gets people creative, which I love, and really just thinking about tea in a completely different way. And you know, the reality is, you say sometimes you've made a pot and you've got too much tea. So rather than dumping it, I mean, my go-to has always been, you know, popping it in an ice tray and, you know, that's it. But these are really, really great ways to not only add flavor to something else that you're going to make anyways, but also make good use of tea that you've already brewed.
Absolutely. And we're both fortunate. We've been to lots of tea estates, and we've seen the hard work and dedication that goes into making tea, for us around the rest of the world to drink. So the more of it we can use and the less we can waste, the better. Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Thank you, Will. Really appreciate your creativity and some fabulous recipes that we're all going to replicate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you again, and happy holidays to all the viewers.
Happy holidays to you as well. Enjoy your break when you get to it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye, Will. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. All right. Some really delicious ideas there. You can see I get super excited when I see something that I have not seen before. And I didn't know where we were going with this recipe. So what a treat. Love it. And I hope that, you know, some of you may perhaps replicate something that you saw here today. You know, as I said, loaves, I think, are super, super great, easy ways to have something baked in your house all the time. You know, I mentioned earlier, I'm guilty of having bananas go very brown on my counter on a very regular basis. So I would even do the chai loaf that Breanne did with the bananas in it, and have a great breakfast option. And you know, talking of breakfast, doing this the overnight oats that Will just showed us is a really, really great way to integrate tea into your oatmeal. So easy, easy, easy. But I think more than anything else, our objective in everything that we do and everything that we show you and what my guests sort of dream up for you is to get you to think of tea outside of enjoying it as just a cup, a hot cup, a cold cup, whatever it is that you do. Not that there's anything wrong with doing it that way. I say make the loaf and make the oatmeal and enjoy it with a gorgeous cup of tea. But you know, the versatility and the flavors that are available to you are endless. And as you can see, Irene and Penelope have been commenting in the chat. So thank you to both of you. But as you can see, you know, when you see something and you see somebody showing an idea, it's really easy to get inspired and sort of, you know, your brain thinking, oh, what else can I do? And oh, maybe perhaps I might try eggnog or you know, a tropical brew in the tea instead of perhaps the one that we've just seen. So thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you for the inspiration. And I hope that you all find some joy in the little things that you do, as Breanne said, and enjoy in your everyday. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you all next week with some wonderful, fabulous guests again. Take care.